What's happening, guys? Yet another video coming at you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment anything y'all want to know. I'm excited to be sharing everything with you guys. So today it's gonna be a little. There's gonna be, like I said, there's gonna be a couple of different videos, but for this one, we're gonna be doing lights. I get asked this question all the time. What do you do as your light source? Can I use this bulb? Can I use this type of bulb? How do I set it up? Where do I begin? We're gonna answer those questions today. Done. So just to kind of get started, I want to practice a little bit of an electrical safety with you guys because house fires, barn fires, wherever outdoors in your greenhouse, wherever you're going to be growing, the chance is real. So always read your safety instructions. This is here for you. Really watch how much electricity you're asking for. Don't just keep putting connectors on on connectors. Use some resistors that to help keep fires from happening, keep fires from spreading. They are out there. I use them myself. Please be careful. Check your connections regularly. Unplug them. Look for burning marks, charring, anything. Make sure your electrical needs are up to date. Make sure everything is safe for you and your family. Do not take the risk, please, for everyone's safety. So after that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So like I said, no two outlets are the same. Just because this one has more plugs does not mean you can plug more into it. It can, in cases, be weaker, not be able to take as much juice as this one can. So like I said, definitely read. And always, there's a million different types out there, guys. This is a 3 from a 1 to 3 to 1. This one's going to be a 6 to 2. And this one is also going to be a 6 to 2. Well, 6 to 1, sorry. I got that wrong. And of course, there's power strips, different things. So kind of getting started, I want to start with timing your lights. Timing matters. You cannot believe the difference it'll make in your plants. Now, you're going to hear different phrases when you're looking stuff up. 12-12, 16-8, I believe. Yeah, 16-8. And there's another one that people like, and it's I want to say it is 20. It's like a 23-1 or a 24-0. What that means is it's saying how long you have daytime and how long you have nighttime in your system. Now, this is going to vary depending on your needs and what you're doing with it. So if you have an enclosed system where you're trying to force something to flower, you don't want to have outside lights. So if it's summertime, you have long days, you need to isolate it to where the light doesn't go inside. And then for something like flowering, you're going to use a 12-12, or even sometimes just 11 hours of day and like 13 hours of night can really force a flower out of something. If you're trying to maybe save some genetics, it does happen to where you're down to your last plant and it was just such a good plant. It treated you so good. You just want those seeds. And maybe you're going to go put it back out and let it grow. Everyone's got their thing. So whatever it takes, really, just to make sure you have what you need. Now, anything over, I think it's like 14 hours or 16 hours is going to be considered vegetation. So whether you're growing indoors or outdoors, you're going to very well notice that things will stop flowering. They'll start growing more. There are flowers like the dragon flower, I believe. Yeah, I have one in a video out in the garden. It's some snapdragon. That's the one. Snapdragon flower. Those actually need about 14 to 18 hours to flower. So again, make sure you research your plant, figure out what their light needs are, and then use a timer. Now, in terms of timers, again, no two timers are alike. We have some timers here. So these are going to be what are indoor timers. These you need to keep them dry. Do not put them in a humid environment. That's not good. These are dry. So we use these like in the house, in open areas, places where they're not going to get wet. This is going to be a 2-prong, and this is a double 3-prong. This is going to all run on the same timer. And then all of your timers are going to have switches that say outlet on and timer on somewhere. There you go. almost all of them. What that means is that even if your timer is off, you can manually turn it on and do maintenance on your system, double check things, see how your plants are holding up, whatever you need to do. But do not forget to change it because you'll ruin your light cycle. And you can stress your plants. So those are some indoor options. Now in terms of outdoor, and we do have systems outdoor, like in the greenhouse. If I needed to put something up, I would use something like this. These are outdoor timers. They're literally made for the outdoors. That's why they have the covers and stuff. They're going to be in a humid environment. You can see we have our connections, 3-prong. Again, no two timers are alike. So this one, 2, 4, 6, and 8 hours. Dusk to dawn. That's this timer. This timer is going to be like our indoors, so it's actually pretty cool. I generally use these. You pull your door down, and you can change on and off every 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. It's pretty useful. We actually use stuff like this. Even when our chickens, they need heat lamps. Well, we live in Texas, so realistically, it's not going to be hot during the day, so those lamps need to be turned off. We can actually look at the time and the weather and set it up to that. What's going to work best, and it'll automatically turn off. I'm big into automation. Stuff like this can save you so much time. It's worth the 10, 20 bucks. We do try to save money. I got like 2 of these for free. I think I traded these 2 for like, I think I did clones or something. It may have been seeds. It could have been dirt. Honestly, I don't know. But like some of them we traded, and then like I purchased this one a couple years back, and I purchased this one about a year back. And we actually use these on our fish tanks as well. Now, in terms of fish tanks, and we will be covering, it's another lengthy video, we will be covering lights for fish tanks, and we will be covering lights for indoor and outdoor grow. We will also be covering lumens, spectrums. This is going to be a real in-depth video for you guys today. So anyways, that's going to be our timers. Now, for a fish tank, it's going to be a little different. I find it is best to do 12-12 and set it near a sunny window, or at least very ambient light. And that's going to help because that gives you extra lumens and light to work with without having to pay that electrical bill. Also, if you do anything over a 12-12 with direct light, you're probably going to have an algae buildup. So unless you have algae eaters, do not do that. We have water snails. I actually let them breed, and then I will control it after that. Put 1 to a tank, let them grow up, and they'll really work on that algae for us. So 12-12 near a really bright window pretty much does us good. We don't have too much of an algae buildup there. Now, in terms of lights, a lot of the lights are going to be water safe, which means you can use them near the water, and they're going to be, a lot of them are going to be cobs. Cob stands for chip on board. And that's not just a fish light thing. That's basically just a standard type of light. There are different types of light. There are halogen bulbs, CFLs, there are LEDs, and then there are cobs. And I think there's a couple others I'm probably missing. But generally, that's probably what you're going to be working with if you're working with plants. So something like this, we'll go ahead and plug it in for you. I got a plug here for you guys. Oh, there we go. So this, you can see it's not clean. I haven't been using this one. This would be a standard plant light. So you put your plants here, and this would help add light into your fish tank. Now, some of these, I don't know the lens. I got this for free. A guy was getting rid of some fish tanks and all this stuff. So I got hooked up with this. This one doesn't benefit the plants as much as I would personally like. That's why I don't use it. But it is a great light source in areas that I just need a little extra light, or maybe my plants just need a little extra light. They're getting lots of ambient light, and they could just use that little extra oomph. So that is a pretty good option in terms of fish plants. And I will be doing actual demonstrations in terms of setups to help with, you guys figure out what you need. Another fish light I have, one I actually really appreciate, and I use this on Loki's tank. Loki is my dragonfish, Goby. I did the plants in water video, part 1 and part 2. I did that in front of his tank. And this is actually the light that I use to keep most of our plants in there alive. Now this one's going to be a little different. As you can see, it's very bright. Big difference. I mean, it just, it's a really healthy light. The plants really tend to like it, and I get a nice even coverage. It's not as weak and centralized as the first one I showed you. So something like this is amazing. And the other grow lights that I'm going to show y'all after the fish piece, and to be honest, I'll probably break this up part 1 and part 2, just to make it easier. So if you're not interested in the aquarium section, go ahead, jump over to part 2. That's going to be about the actual plants themselves. And I'll probably start the intro over for you guys. Anywho, so this is pretty much going to really benefit your plants if you can find something like this. It has a nice little switch here. You can clip it on and off. You flip it on and off, and then it's basically just got a screw to tighten up against your fish tank. I really love it. Sometimes this one does have a tendency of falling left and right because of the fact it's only a screw. But there's a million ways to work with your lights. You can always, put a brace against the wall, because it's got this flexible tubing and stuff here. So, I mean, it generally should be okay. Always build a system that's going to work for you, especially when it comes to fish, because you don't want to come home and have a bunch of electrocuted fish because, your light fell in. Oh, let's see. Another good example for fish is going to be, this right here. Just a general light. Now, you don't have to have this CFL in here, but the idea is, and the reason I was pointing out this CFL, if I remember correctly, I believe it's going to be a 65,000K or 6,500K. Probably 6,500K. What that is that's more of a daylight bulb that has a larger blue spectrum. And in terms of vegetation growth, which for aquarium plants, you need a higher vegetation growth, this is going to do you really well. So you're going to get more out of your watts using something like this. If you use something that's higher in yellow or red, which is going to be more of a flowering light, I would strongly recommend switching over to a daylight kind of bulb. 20 watts is 20 watts. Both are going to pull about the same, and they're going to be about the highly low. You sabotaging the video for me. Both of them are going to be fairly similar in watt usage, but in terms of what the plants are going to get out of it, that is going to change. So that's pretty much going to be it for the part 1. Like I said, if you want, go ahead and swing over to part 2. Have a great day. Peace, and be nice out there.